that's telling you something. So impact, what's impact look like? I'm going to sit into my left glute, and I'm going to hold this angle that I created right there. That angle of the right wrist, right there. I'm going to hold that angle, and I'm going to let it release with the momentum of the club. I'm not going to force it. Don't force it. It should swing by itself. So your impact alignment is going to look like that. Let's say that's this stick is the ball. Your impact alignment is going to look like that. I'm sitting now. I got my weight on my left side. I'm coming into the ball. I haven't lost the radius. Okay, and obviously the handle is leading the club. The club hits the ball first, then the grass, then the dirt, then comes out of the grass, and you finish. That's a divot. You can take shallow divots, you can take deep divots, depending on, again, your planing. Are you too steep, or are you too flat? This is key also. Here's the impact alignment that you want. This is my target point. Here is my setup, all right here. Here's my setup. I must stay inside that target line. I want to shallow out the swing right in here. There's the ball, and it's going to go down the target line to about there, and then it's going to come back inside. What you're all doing, I guarantee you. You're here, you get outside that target line, and across like that. You now have imparted spin on the ball, and you've lost all compression. And therefore, the ball isn't going to go anywhere. On a driver, you know, the ball compresses also, there's a trampoline effect on the driver head itself, which has been modified by the USGA to a coefficient of restitution of, what's the coefficient? 830. 830. They have a tool now when they check the pros card to see that they're legal. It's called characteristic timing, but essentially it's the coefficient of restitution, which is 800. How much of a trampoline effect? But that's don't worry about it. Although you can buy illegal clubs. There you go. You can buy an illegal club that has a higher coefficient of restitution, and you'll hit the ball further because it has more of a trampoline effect. But that's the way you want to do it. You want to come inside, square to inside. That's it. You've got to strive for that. Then you've got face, shaft plane, the 3 zones. And now you got the pivot.
Okay, let me just say, most people say when they hit thin shaft, I look at my head. You can lift your head all you want if you keep your body in the right position.
Well, I said that.
Your head does nothing.
It's not lifting your head. If you watch David Duval and like the sword stick, they went through the ball, they always looked like they were lifting. That shot was over before. As a matter of fact, keeping your head down too long, you know, you'll screw everything. There's no rhythm to it. You'll screw everything. Plus you'll get a stiff neck and everything else. I mean, that's got nothing to do with it. Don't break the radius. The 2 things that break the radius are losing the angle. I know, and a lot of you are doing this too. If you do that, it creates another lever in the gout swing, but it's essentially not a speeding type of a lever. It really doesn't give anything. And what do you have to do now? You got to time it so that it's now straight enough to be back on the initial radius to the ball. That's kind of tough. So the more you can keep that arm straight, not stiff, no, straight, the better off, and the more contact, the better contact you'll have. Now, if you're old, or feel old, then you are going to do what is called a 2-plane swing. I'll write this down. Jim Hardy wrote a great book called Plain Truth. Write that down. You might want to buy that book. P-L-A-N-E, we're talking about, obviously. The Plain Truth. 2 swings he describes. One is a 2-plane swing, and the other is a 1-plane swing. If you're old, if you're a woman, If you want to hit the ball a little further than a one-plane swing, then you will do this. Still take the same pivot. You will note that the club shaft is going to be above my head when I do this. Can you all see the club shaft up there? Okay. At that point, I have to get the club back on the plane, on the inside plane. So there's going to be a little bit of a loop in there. It's going to be I got to shallow this out. So that I can come at it on the inside square inside. That takes a lot of time. A one-plane swing takes no timing whatsoever, so you all want to jump on that. A one-plane swing, you will not see the club shaft above my head. You will see the club shaft in line with my right shoulder. Is it there? Because I don't swing this way.
This is here, in line with this instead of up.
Okay? That's all that means is that the shaft plane and the right shoulder on the same. For that, you'll take a little wider stance. It's a body move rather than arm and hands move. So from that position with a flat swing, that's all you're doing. It's like a wheelhouse. You just move. You're turning that body faster with no little lateral bump. And you're just going all the way around and finish. Matt Kuchar, he's 6'4", 5", whatever he is. Watch him on TV. He is the perfect example of a one-plane swing. Look at old photos of Ben Hogan, one-plane swing. One-plane swing. You'll never see the shaft. Most guys are somewhere in between. You don't want it laid off here. See, I'm too flat here. I don't have that shaft. It's behind my shoulder. You want it. That's a one plane. And you come right back down on that same plane. It really is an easy way to swing. However, since you have a flatter swing, your club head lie angles on your irons have to be flatter also. You can't take a standard club. The lie of the club head, how it's attached to the hosel, is irrelevant. Otherwise, you're digging in the heel in the ground or you're digging the toe in the ground. You're going to think you took a good swing and the ball's not going to go where it's supposed to. That's the club. So depending on what swing you decide on, you have to have the club adjusted for that. Or you have to buy clubs from the factory that are standard lie, 1 degree upright, 2 degree upright, 1 degree flat, 2 degree flat. Ping is probably still the best company that does best.
Ball compression, drills, chipping, putting.
If you want to do some, the best drills ever is to take an 8-iron or a 7-iron, put your feet together, really together, and just swing that club. Take a full swing and hit balls. Take a full swing and hit balls. And you can still feel the weight. You're still taking the same shoulder turn. You're still finishing. You're keeping it on plane. You're doing all those 3 zones that I was telling you about. Pivots involved, plane angles involved, club face rotation. If you're swinging good, you'll know that you can see the toe up in this position, and when it finishes here, the toe will be up in that position. If it looks like that, you messed up the shot. If it looks like that, you messed up the shot. When you get to the top, notice my left wrist. This means the club face is square. If I bend that left wrist like that, where the wrinkles appear here, watch what happens when I bring the club face back. It's wide open. Unless you call an audible of some sort, in the downswing, unless you call an audible and say, oh, Jesus, it's open. And you can do this. The more athletic you are. Pros can do that. They call audibles all the time. Tiger does. Everybody. Oh, it's open. I better rotate that son of a bitch as fast as I can. And he'll square the club and get away with the shot. How many have seen Dustin Johnson? Okay. He's like that. I can't even hold the club. He is pronated. If you get in this position, okay, you got good pivot. Watch where the club face is now if I don't do some fancy stuff. It's, look at this. It's closed as hell. That ball's going left. Without question. How does he compensate? He got to compensate for that. Freddie Couples has this wrist angle that I said don't do. He compensates for it. Dustin Johnson has this wrist angle. He compensates for it. Don't get into that. Keep a modestly flat left wrist at the top of the backswing. And then it'll be there at impact. You want that left wrist flat at impact also. You don't want any cupping before or immediately after impact. You want to drag that club head through. It's not going to really release until way out there. The release really takes out there. Most people think the release takes at impact. The fastest the club is moving, the fastest is actually past the ball. So you want to compress that ball into the ground and then let that toe go. Remember that toe wants to go. That's the way the club is built.
9-3 drill, probably one of the best ones.
This drill really helps your balance. If you can't hit balls like this and compress it good, forget about the distance. You just want that nice solid grip, compressing the ball. The 9-3 drill, picture a clock. We got 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. Picture a clock standing on the clock. 9-3. Doesn't mean where the club head is. It means where is the shaft in my hands. 9-3. That's 9-3. Fully cocked. The left arm is parallel to the ground. This is 9 o'clock, right? Okay, 9 o'clock. And what I'm going to do here, right there, I'm going to maintain that flat left wrist. I'm going to maintain that wrist angle. I'm going to hit balls. So let that toe roll over right there. 9-3. 9-3. You won't believe how far the ball will go with just that swing. You won't believe it.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do when you're under 3?
It's a punch shot. Yeah.
9-3.
It's a punch shot. Yeah.
You hit under 3?
Technically. Yeah.
Yeah, then
It
when
was
you get
Mark's
good-
ball. I thought
Yeah.
it was Mark's ball.
When you get good, you do 10-4, you do 11.
Well, yeah. Eventually you go all swing. But what this does is build up the lag. You feel the lag of that club head, and the more you drag that handle ahead of the club, the more you're going to pinch that ball into the ground, and the more